So we meet again. Hey, you guys, is anybody here yet? Somebody's here. I see number 1 on my screen. Now I see 15. Now I see 38. This is exciting. Okay, let's see who's here. Maddie, Julie, Josh are here. The Druckmann gang, of course, is always here. Ian from Virginia, Abby, Lawrence, and Braden and Michaela are here. So is Spencer in Atlanta. And Ohio is in the house. And Zaisha and Ziva say hi. Okay, and Kiki from Oklahoma. Shaylin and Eamon and Louis and Layla and Riley and Nave and Morgan and AJ in New Jersey. And so many people. I saw somebody from Missoula, Montana, Missoula, Montana. I've been there. And Gavin and Sam in Long Island and Lucy. The Champ kids are here in the house. Ava from Dallas, Molly and Emma in Louisiana, and Nora. And oh, by the way, we're going to be starting in a few minutes at 2 p.m. East Coast time. That's in 4 minutes. Okay. So in the meantime, I'll just say hi to a few more people, like Ashley in Long Island and Alyssa and Darren from Diamond Bar, California. Okay. And the Levitt kids are here, and Ara and Malachi from Saskatchewan, Canada. Maya and Levi. Savannah is here. Milo and Nixie in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Julia Rose from Briarcliff Manor, New York. And Titus and Emery are here from listening from France. Cool. Okay. Patrick is here, and the Spencer kids, Colin and Jameson from North Carolina. They made a house out of my books. Pictures of it didn't happen, you guys. Who else is here? Claire and Michael and Kaylee on Long Island. Alex and Zach from Cranford. And who else is here from Bryn? And Mason is here, and Dylan and Milo and Livingston, and Evelyn from Boca Raton, and Patrick from Boca Raton, and so many wonderful people. Blake, Kyle, thanks for coming, all of you. Nora and Bethany. We got 2 minutes to go, and Elliot and Andrew are here from Indiana, and Izzy is here, James and Avery, Harry. I wish I could mention all your names. It's obviously impossible. Nina from the other room. Love to see when Nina's in the other room, or when she's in this room too. That's cool too. Olivia and Ashton from Connecticut, and Josiah from Pittsburgh. We got 2 minutes to go before we get started. Sammy, Russ, Riley, and Sam, and Allie, and Leo, and Nathan, and Dylan. They never miss a reading. Cunningham kids. Oh, yeah, you're going to like it, the Cunningham kids. Alexa and Andrew. Not that Alexa. And Anna from New Jersey, and Emma from New York, and so many people. We got 1 more minute to go until we get started. I'm going to take a sip. I'm sorry I'm talking so fast. But Friday's a special day. Okay. Hope you guys are ready, because I'm ready. I'm ready to do this thing. Okay? Anybody from Yellen School here? Okay, I hope so. 1:59 p.m., 2 o'clock is go time. All right, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Waiting for the clock to click. It's go time, baby. Thanks for coming, all of you. My name is Dan Gutman. I'm the author of the My Weirder-est School series and many other books for kids too. Thanks for coming today. I really appreciate it. Today's Friday, which means we're going to finish our book today. But first, it's time for the question of the day. The question of the day is from Tyler from New York. And Tyler asked, how many books will be in the My Weirder-est School series? Good question, Tyler. The book we're reading, Miss Porter is Out of Order. This is number 2 in My Weirder-est School. And there will be 12 books in this series altogether. So Miss Blake, the most recent book, is number 4. So we got 8 more to go, which will take us through the next 2 years. So you're going to be taken care of for the next 2 years. And I wanted to mention, by the way, how I got the name My Weirder-est School. Because first was My Weird School. That was 21 books. And then we started a new series called My Weird School Days. And there were 12 books in that series. Then came My Weirder School, and that was 12 books. Then came My Weirdest School, and that was 12 books. And when I was coming down to the end of that series, I was visiting a school, and I was doing questions and answers, and some kid raised his hand and says, what are you going to call the next series? And I said, well, you know, we were thinking of calling it My Weird School Year, but nobody was really crazy about that title. And the kid, his name was Julian, he says, you should call it My Weirder-est School. And I said, you're a genius. So we decided to change the title to My Weirder-est School. And it just so happens that this book that we're reading this week is dedicated to the boy who gave me that title. Thanks, Julian. I hope you're out there watching. Okay, so we were reading Miss Porter is Out of Order. Oh, and what was I going to say? Oh, okay. We're reading the book, and as you know, the regular teacher, Mr. Cooper, is away for a week, so there's a substitute teacher, Miss Porter, who is a personal digital assistant. She's not a human being. And as we've been reading each chapter, you have been realizing that Miss Porter is actually evil, okay? And the kids decide they're going to have to destroy her, all right? That's where we're at now. We're going to start chapter 9 today, which is titled, You Cannot Destroy Me. Alexa, are you ready?
I'm ready when you are.
Good. Me too. Here we go. Bring! That's the bell. Recess was over. We all pringled up and went back inside the school. I knew what I had to do. It was up to me to destroy Miss Porter. And I was hatching a genius plan to do it. I couldn't tell anybody what I was going to do. Miss Porter could hear every word we said with its microphone. It could read our notes with its camera. I would have to carry out my plan all on my own. It is time for social studies, Miss Porter said when we got back to class. And after that, we will have a spelling test, and then we will do reading, and then we will do writing. Not on my watch, I shouted, even though I wasn't even wearing a watch. I went over to Mr. Cooper's desk. I picked up the Miss Porter machine. Arlo, what are you doing? Shouted Andrea. You'll find out, I replied. I held the Miss Porter machine high over my head. And here's one of Jim's pictures of AJ grabbing Miss Porter and holding it over his head. Put me down, shouted Miss Porter. Oh, I put it down all right. I slammed it down on the floor. One of the pieces fell off. Stop, shouted Miss Porter. Please do not damage my internal components. I couldn't believe that Miss Porter could still talk after hitting the floor. So I stomped on Miss Porter, on the Miss Porter machine with my foot. Another piece flew off. You are in serious trouble, young man, said Miss Porter. Even if Miss Porter is evil, I don't approve of this violence, Arlo, said Andrea. What do you have against violins? I asked, as I stomped my foot on top of the Miss Porter machine. You cannot break me, shouted Miss Porter. Nobody tells me what I can or cannot break. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's breaking stuff. I picked up the stapler from Mr. Cooper's desk and I started whacking the Miss Porter machine with it. It was broken up pretty good by now. The image of Miss Porter disappeared. "He's disabled it!" shouted Ryan. "Way to go, AJ!" I was panting and sweating. Disabling evil personal digital assistants is hard work. Miss Porter wasn't talking anymore. But I've seen enough scary movies to know that when you kill a zombie or a monster, they always come back to life. So I took the Elmer's glue off Mr. Cooper's desk and squirted it inside the Miss Porter machine just to be on the safe side. And here's a picture of AJ squirting glue into Miss Porter on the floor while the other kids watch in the background. Oops, where am I? Okay. Then I picked it up off the floor and I threw it out the window. "There," I finally said. "Miss Porter won't be bothering us anymore." "Yay!" everybody shouted. It was like in The Wizard of Oz when all the Munchkins were singing "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead." The whole gang was clapping me on the back and telling me I was a hero. That's when the weirdest thing in the history of the world happened. There was a buzzing sound. It was coming from outside. I looked out the window. And you'll never believe in 1,100,000 years what was out there. It was another drone. It was hovering right outside the window. And here's a picture, one of Jim's pictures of the drone hovering outside the window. Remember when the drone came earlier in the story with the pizza box? "Are we getting another pizza?" asked Ryan. But the drone wasn't delivering another pizza. "Hello," said a voice. "I am Miss Porter, version 2.0. "No! It's another Miss Porter," shouted Neil. "I know what you did to the first Miss Porter," said Miss Porter 2.0. "It is time for social studies. And after that, we will have a spelling test. And then we will do reading. And then we will do writing. And then you will all have to stay after school for what you did to Miss Porter. You kids are in big trouble." "No! Miss Porter is indestructible," I shouted. "We're doomed," said Ryan. The personal digital assistants were taking over. All right, that's chapter 9. Are you ready for chapter 10? Say the magic word. Because chapter 10 is the big surprise ending. Woo! Okay, here we go. You guys ready for this? Okay, I forgot to tell you to gather around the computer, gather around your big screen TV, gather around your smartphone or whatever it is you're watching me on. Okay, here's the big surprise ending to the story. Are you ready, Alexa? Okay. This was the worst afternoon of my life. We had to do social studies and spelling and reading and writing. The new Miss Porter was even worse than the first Miss Porter. And it was particularly hard on me because I tried to destroy it. I thought I was going to die. When I woke up the next morning, I really didn't want to go back to school. I didn't think I could take another day with Miss Porter. And even if I destroyed this Miss Porter, it would just be replaced by another Miss Porter. We couldn't win. I wanted to go run away to Antarctica and live with the penguins. Penguins don't have personal digital assistants. So I came up with another genius plan. This time, it was a plan to get out of going to school. I went to the medicine cabinet and took out the thermometer. Then I held it against the heat vent in my bedroom for 5 minutes. "Mom," I shouted, Can I stay home from school today? I'm sick. I have a temperature. My mother looked at the thermometer. Your temperature is 152 degrees, she said. See, I told you I was sick. Nobody has a temperature that high, AJ, Mom told me. You obviously held the thermometer against the heat vent. Get ready for school. Bummer in the summer. I went to school. Everybody looked sad as we pledged the allegiance. We were going to be stuck with Miss Porter as our teacher for the rest of the week. Maybe it would be our teacher for the rest of our lives. Mr. Cooper would probably be fired when he got back. Who needs human teachers as long as there are personal digital assistants like Miss Porter? Let's get to work, said Miss Porter. Turn to page 23 in your math books. Ugh, not again. That's when the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. Andrea raised her hand. Well, that's not the amazing part. Andrea raises her hand all the time. The amazing part was what happened after that. Miss Porter, Andrea said, may I please go to the bathroom? Certainly, Andrea, said Miss Porter. That was weird. Andrea never has to go to the bathroom. I wasn't even sure if she ever needed to go to the bathroom. Andrea got up. As she walked past me, she dropped a tiny piece of folded up paper on my desk. I opened it up. It said, meet me out in the hallway. And here's a picture of Andrea surreptitiously dropping a note on AJ's desk as she leaves to go to the bathroom. Where am I? Oh, something was up. I waited a minute. I didn't want Miss Porter to get suspicious. Miss Porter, I finally said, may I please go to the bathroom? Do you really need to go to the bathroom, AJ? Or are you just trying to get out of class? It's an emergency, I said. Go ahead, Miss Porter said. Hurry back. I got up and went out in the hallway. Andrea was waiting for me there. Andrea, what are you? I didn't have the chance to finish my sentence. Andrea clapped her hand over my mouth. Shh, she said. Miss Porter will hear you. Quick, follow me. Andrea rushed down the hallway. I was right behind her. This isn't the way to the bathrooms, I said. I know, she replied. We're not going to the bathroom. We turned the corner and walked down the hall until we came to the computer room. Oh, good, it's not locked, Andrea said as she pulled open the door. What are we doing in here? I asked. I'm going to hack into Miss Porter's network, Andrea told me. What? Are you crazy? I replied. You'll get in trouble. It's the only way to disable it, Andrea said as she sat down at one of the computer terminals. We have to do it. This was weird. Usually it was me who did the bad stuff that might get us in trouble. Andrea is little Miss Perfect who never breaks any rules. I guess this really was an emergency. Andrea's fingers were flying over the keyboard. How are you going to hack into Miss Porter's network? I asked. Watch, Andrea replied as she typed. I learned how to do this in my computer class. Andrea typed a bunch of letters and numbers that didn't mean anything to me. Hurry up, I said. We're supposed to be in the bathroom. If we don't get back to class soon, Miss Porter will come looking for us. I'm going as fast as I can, Andrea told me. She typed a bunch more letters and numbers, and then she shouted, I'm in. What now? I asked. All I need to do is reconfigure the blah blah and disable the blah blah, internal memory, blah, motherboard, blah 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 blah, Andrea said. I had no idea what she was talking about. Okay, Andrea finally said. As soon as I hit the enter key, Miss Porter should be disabled. But you'll never believe who walked through the door at that moment. It was Miss Porter. Its holographic image walked right through the door. Not so fast, Andrea, it said. Don't hit that key. Miss Porter, Andrea and I shouted. Miss Porter, Andrea and I shouted. What are you two doing in here? Asked Miss Porter. You said you were going to the bathroom. And here's Miss Porter confronting AJ and Andrea in the computer room. So exciting. I looked at Andrea. Andrea looked at me. Miss Porter looked at both of us. We were all looking at one another. But, I said, nobody was laughing, even though I said but, which sounds just like but, even though it only has one T in it. We lied, Andrea said. Sometimes in life, you have to lie to save the truth. Step away from the keyboard, Andrea, ordered Miss Porter, and nobody will get hurt. Sorry, but I can't do that, Miss Porter, Andrea said. You're going to get hurt. Andrea hit the enter key. Nothing seemed to happen at first, but after a second or two, Miss Porter seemed different. It looked like it was frozen. Turn to page 9,000 in your banana books, she said. I think it's working, Andrea whispered. At that moment, the rest of our class burst into the computer room. What's going on? Asked Ryan. We were worried about you. Turn to page elephant in your beach ball books, said Miss Porter. What's wrong with Miss Porter? Asked Michael. Andrea hacked into its network, I said. Miss Porter's system is shutting down, Andrea explained. There is nothing wrong with me, said Miss Porter. Teapot, corn, dog, pot holder, helicopter. It's not making any sense, shouted Neil. 2 + 2 = 7, said Miss Porter. Burple bing bong. A picture of Miss Porter is like being disabled and freaking out. Isn't Jim fantastic? It's speaking gibberish, Alexia shouted. Is that one of its 7 languages? I asked. Gibberish isn't a language, said Andrea. Its programming is messed up. It can't speak any languages anymore. Doopy whip speedo, said Miss Porter. Glab jacks glub blurb. You'll never believe who walked through the door at that moment. Nobody. Humans can't walk through doors. How many times do we need to go over this stuff? But you'll never believe who walked through the doorway. It was Dr. Carbles. What are you kids doing in the computer room? He asked. Miss Porter, what's going on in here? Zoopy bilge cardboard dobby, said Miss Porter. What? Asked Dr. Carbles. Bimple Muck's jukebox, said Miss Porter. That doesn't make any sense, said Dr. Carbles. No, it doesn't, said Andrea. Miss Porter is out of order. Wiggy, Hassenfoot. I've had enough of this, said Dr. Carbles. Miss Porter, you're fired. And here's Dr. Carbles firing Miss Porter, the now disabled Miss Porter. Yay! Everybody shouted. Can you fire somebody who doesn't get paid? I asked. Goosey wop pickles, said Miss Porter. Dr. Carble stormed out of the computer room. Miss Porter just stood there for a moment. Then it started to vibrate. And then, with a shower of sparks, it exploded and disappeared. Yay! I took a deep breath. It was over. For a few seconds, nobody said a word. Ooh, Ryan finally said. AJ and Andrea work together to disable Miss Porter. They must be in love. When are you going to get married? Asked Michael. Well, that's pretty much what happened. Maybe Miss Porter went to personal digital assistant heaven. Maybe for the rest of the week, we'll have plain old human substitute teachers. Maybe Mrs. Yonkers, Mr. Docker, and Mr. Harrison will get their jobs back. Maybe Mr. Cooper will solve his bladder problem. Maybe Mr. Klutz will get his hair out of the bathtub drain. Maybe the Earth will be destroyed by an asteroid. Maybe we can program a drone to deliver more pizza. Read the last sentence with me. But it won't be easy. We did it. We read a whole book this week. Congratulations to all of us. I had fun. I hope you had fun too. Did you like the book? I hope so. And you know, now that we finished this book, I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to give it away to one of you guys. Sometime over the weekend, right here on my Facebook fan page, I will do some kind of a contest where I will give the book away, and one of you guys will get it. And I'll autograph it for you too. And just in case, if you missed any of the read-alouds this week, I want you to know that you can still read them right here on my Facebook fan page if you scroll through the posts. And also, in about a half an hour or so, you can read them all in order on my website, which is just www.dangutman.com. And you can read the first 3 weeks of these read-aloud sessions on my website. So that's it for the week. Next week, we're going to start, on Monday, we're going to start a new My Weird School book, and it's going to be Dr. Snow Has Got to Go. So, Alexa, are you awake?
Yes, I'm here.
Alexa, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And I'll say goodbye too. I had a great time with you guys. Thanks for coming. Read like crazy. Wash your hands like crazy. Just ignore those sirens outside. And I will see you on Monday. Bye now.